In Salt Lake County, a Utah TikTok influencer could be facing felony domestic violence charges. Harriman police telling us they were called to the home of 28-year-old Taylor Paul late last Friday night after a neighbor heard screaming. On scene, officers placing her under arrest on suspicion of domestic violence in front of a child, among other crimes. Now, we're told they have video evidence of a physical fight that may have injured her young daughter. Paul has more than 4 million followers on TikTok.
And the Tooele County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in identifying the suspects that vandalized 17 road signs along the Mormon Trail Road between Rush Valley and Grantsville, we're told. Take a good look at these photos. These signs look as if they have holes in them now. If you have any information that could lead to the suspects, contact the Tooele County Sheriff's Dispatch, the number there at the bottom of your screen.
Tonight we know the house where 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death will be demolished. The homeowner giving the University of Idaho that property, and they decided to demolish it. The university saying this is a healing step and will ensure no one sensationalizes the crime scene in the future. Now, it's unclear what will happen on the property or when that demolition will begin, but we do know the university is creating a memorial on campus at some location for the 4 students killed back in November.
And a single-family home illegally converted into a 4-plex decades ago has the people who live there now worried they may soon be forced to move. Christina Levi says she's lived in the 4-plex for about a decade, and after one neighbor's eviction, she's worried she could be next. The problem, the apartment is in an area zoned for single-family homes. An Ogden City spokesperson says the home was illegally converted to a 4-plex soon after it was built. Property owners petitioned the city a few times in the past to have the 4-plex approved. They were denied each time, and in 2019, the city said residents need to be notified. They would be permitted to stay until their lease ends. With one tenant gone, Levi says her rent will soon increase by a few $100s.
I just want to have a stable house and know that I'll be able to, afford my place.
The current owners there who say the evicted tenant had taken over the previous renter's lease, which the city did not allow. They say everyone currently living there is grandfathered into their lease.
A surprise assembly at Clinton Elementary today honoring special education teacher Laurie Bagford for her exceptional commitment to her students. The Mighty Heart Educator of Excellence Award gives a $10,000 grant to the school to be spent at Bagford's discretion to help better serve the school. Now, the money comes from an anonymous donor, and the award is named after a Utah woman who was born with only 2 chambers in her heart. Bagford telling us the highlight of her job is seeing her students succeed.
I get to work with students that have some learning disabilities, and when I see them get the concept that we've been working on repeatedly, it makes me realize that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
We appreciate our teacher. She goes on to say she doesn't know what she's going to do with all the money yet, but she will talk it over with some teacher friends there at the school and see what the school needs most.
Well, coughing and shortness of breath are enough to put anyone on high alert for COVID-19 these days. However, these symptoms are common in people with exercise-induced asthma. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Sandra Hong says there's typically a pattern with this type of asthma.
Very frequently when you have an athlete and it's exercise-induced asthma, you'll only notice the symptoms when they're actually doing their sports. It typically will come on within 5 minutes, but people can have it at any point in time with their exercise. And as they stop exercising, their symptoms should get better.
Dr. Hong continued to say people with exercise-induced asthma often experience coughing, wheezing, and chest pain or tightness 5 to 10 minutes into a workout. If worrisome breathing problems persist after exercise, she recommends seeking emergency care.
If they're continuing to have chest pain or continuing to be short of breath, that should be evaluated. If they recover and they're feeling better, I still would ask them to see their primary care physician or an allergist or a pulmonologist. The reasons for that are for it to be evaluated.
Dr. Hong saying that asthma-related symptoms are usually treated with medications that can get people back to peak performance.
Coming up tonight on ABC4 News at 10, protesters at the Capitol today rallying for public education.
Yes, they're saying one bill is attacking what schools are allowed to teach. ABC4's Courtney Johns live in studio with more on that. Courtney.
Yeah, Emily, House Bill 427 creates new guidelines for classroom instruction, and that includes requiring local education agencies, also known as LEAs, to regulate how teachers discuss topics like racism and sexism, including slavery, legal segregation, and discriminatory laws. So tonight at 10, we'll be hearing from both sides, including critics who say this will stop important discussions that they say need to happen in the classroom.
Big talker up on the Hill today.
Certainly is.
All right, we thank you. Still ahead, Governor Spencer Cox recognizing his advisor for her service and impact on the community. How Pamela Atkinson has dedicated her life to the many groups she supports.
Plus, rookie Walker Kessler did something he's never done before in the big Jazz overtime win over the Thunder last night. We'll hear why Coach Will Hardy thinks he might have created a monster. Coming up later in sports.
And this is what it looked like in St. George this morning with snow on the grassy areas. But as we close out Friday, we've just got cloud cover, unsettled with active skies in both the north and south. Does it impact your weekend? Answers coming up in Utah's most accurate forecast.